I have been super busy. I tweeted about this. I am going up for tenure this year, so I have to submit my packet. So I've been an assistant professor for 5 years. So I'm going up for tenure and it's been crazy. I'm also working on a research project targeted at Black women in the US. I'm very passionate about women's health. So yeah, so it's been crazy. It's been 2 weeks since I uploaded a video. So I'm excited to be back and yeah, so welcome back. So today we're talking about tips on how to get into graduate school. Obviously, I would love to work with each and every one of you that entered my giveaway, but I cannot, right? So these tips are gonna kind of equip you to in your application process. Okay, so remember to watch my video on tips on how to apply to graduate school, because those are more practical tips. These are just like things that you're probably not thinking about, but these tips would aid you and make you more competitive as you apply to graduate school. Number one is think about what you studied for your undergraduate degree, because the likelihood of getting accepted into graduate school is partly dependent on what you studied in your undergraduate degree. So you want to make sure that there's some kind of connection between your undergraduate degree and what you're applying for, because that makes you more competitive. All right. Also, you want to make sure that what you are applying for, you're somewhat passionate about it, right? I know several of you just want to relocate, you just want to move, you just want to, but you want to make sure that, yes, you're leaving your country, or you're going to school. Absolutely, you're enriching yourselves, go for it. But you want to also make sure that what you're studying is something that you're really interested in, right? Because this is stuff that you're going to study in and day out, day in and day out. You want to make sure that it's something that really tugs at your heart, at your heartstrings, okay? Because whatever you're passionate about is going to come through in your application. So when I read students' applications, I can tell like when students are actually really passionate about something, and that just makes me want to offer them admission, versus students who are obviously just applying because they just want a PhD or they just want a master's. So you want to make sure that whatever you're passionate about shows in your application, and you're picking a course of study that you're passionate about. Okay, enough of that. All right, so research schools that offer what you are interested in, make sure that whatever school you're applying to, they have people who are specialists in what you are interested in studying. That is gonna make you more competitive. Let's say you want to study electrical engineering. You apply to this school. They have electrical engineering, but they are more focused on, let's say, electronics, versus, let's say, you want to focus on like electricity. I don't know if that makes sense. But so even though they have the department, they may not have what your focus is. So you don't want to apply to a school that doesn't really focus on your interest. So make sure that whatever school you apply to, there are professors there who are also studying what you're interested in. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Sound in the comments. If this confused you, ask me again in the comments. I'll type it out for you. But I just want you to think about that. All right. So you want to make sure that the school you're applying to is something affordable, and a school that has scholarships. Because if they offer you scholarships, then it's going to be easy. Even when you go for your visa interview and all of that, then everything just kind of falls into place, right? So make sure you're checking for that, because that's going to really help you get to your university. So you want to research how friendly a graduate program or institution is to international students, because if you waste your time applying to a program that doesn't care for international students, imagine you have wasted your application fees. Most application fees are like $50. That's a lot of money. So you want to make sure that those schools care about, like, they're interested in international students. How do you find that out? You research, you email people. Like, hey, do you have any international students? What do you think of, just ask about their student body, ask about their student population. Or better still, email the graduate academic advisor and ask that you are put in touch with some of their international students. Just do your research, because if you apply to a school that, let's say they're like, oh, we can't deal with more international students, blah, 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 that's happened. Then you apply and they don't take you, right? Because they don't want international students, but they can't put that on their website because that's illegal. So you want to make sure that whatever department you're applying to, whatever school, well, most schools are not going to just reject all international students, but some departments would. So you want to make sure that whatever department you're applying to are very receptive and open to international students. Just something to keep in mind. All right, so this one is very important. Narrow down your top 6 schools. Narrow down your top 6 schools. 2 of those schools should be like Ivy League schools. Should be like schools that are like, this is like way out of my league. I probably would never get in, but I'm still gonna apply. So for me, those schools, those schools were Harvard and Yale. Obviously, I didn't get in. Stop wondering. Obviously, I did not get in. Not obviously, but you guys know I finished it too. So I wasn't very competitive for those kind of schools. But, God. Oh, but yeah. So have 2 schools that you are passionate, like not passionate, but 2 schools that are out of your league, okay? And then 2 schools that you feel like, I'm competitive. Like this is like that you're on par with, right? 2 schools that you're on par with. And then 2 schools that you're like, sure banker. Where are my house people at? Like for sure, I'm getting in, right? So that's 6 schools. Don't apply to less than 6 schools. You want to apply to those categories. And most times you're going to get into 3 or 4, mostly 3. So yeah, so apply to 6 schools, okay? That's a tip that many people ignore and never get in, because you want to make sure you have options too, okay? All right, so study. That's my next tip. Study. So for those of you who are finished with bad results from your undergrad and you really want to go to grad school, and then for those of you who aced undergrad, you know, you have to study. Study the school that you're applying to. Study for your GRE because most programs require that you write your GRE. You have to study for your TOEFL or your English language test. Take some time out to study. You cannot just like ignore that you need to study. And think about the fact that you're doing all the work now to enjoy later. That's how you should think about it. So study. I have it right here, like 3 studies, like study, exclamation point, study. All right, so whenever you go to take the GRE, I want you to consider not fasting that day. I know we're all spiritual. I'm a Christian. Like I love being a Christian. I love the principles of Christianity. It has changed my life. But that's not the day to fast. Like fast all the days before. But on the day you take your GRE and you take whatever exam, your TOEFL or English language test, you want to make sure you have a snack, you have lots of water, maybe even a sugar drink like orange juice or whatever. That would help you write your exam better because your brain would be more activated because of your snacks and eating, okay? Some glucose. So yeah, so make sure you do that. Because that would help you excel on your GRE. That would help your brain work better, and that would improve your GRE scores, and that would make you more competitive. So it's all kind of a ripple effect. So another tip is to email the department to kind of talk to advisors. I always tell you guys this, but I'm telling you, some of the people I'm working with have already gotten responses from professors. This is crazy. Like, and I mean, you don't have to have everything together. All you want to do is create a rapport with the professor. So professors have you in mind, you know? Like, so professors remember your name or recognize your name when they're reviewing applications, okay? And then another tip is to be aware of international student deadlines. A lot of you are international students. A lot of you watching, a lot of my subscribers are international students. Be aware of these deadlines because they're not the same for your Canadian or American counterparts or English counterparts. So you want to be aware of those deadlines so you don't miss them, okay? All right, my last tip is that be patient. It takes a long time. It's a long process for these things to happen. So I want to encourage you to just be patient, stay positive, apply to 6 schools, study, invest your time in the process. Trust me, these are the things I did. So I'm not even saying some crazy, I'm not making up any stuff. This is stuff I did that has helped me. That helped me, and I have helped so many people with the process, like my cousins, and you know, and they are all here. So I want you guys to think about that. Be patient. It takes a while for these things to happen. Honestly, applying to grad school, at least in America, can take up to a whole year, like the whole process before you get here. So I want you to be patient. That's my last tip. That's probably the hardest tip because you just want to start applying and you just want to get in and you just want to come here like pop. But it doesn't happen like that, guys. It doesn't happen. So be patient and your time will come. I remember for me, I started applying to grad school in 2009, like early 2009, and I didn't come to the US until July 2010. So it it took over a year. My application process took over 1 year to apply. So if you're watching this and let's say you're in Nigeria, you want to start applying right now because it can take in fact more than a year to go through that process. So I just want to, you know, encourage your hearts and tell you to be patient. And if you're watching this video, if you're taking notes, you're already on the right path because you're trying to make your life better, you're trying to improve your life, you're trying to do better. And so you're already doing the right thing anyways. Okay, signing out. God bless you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are on a goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. So let's make that happen. All right, see you. Bye-bye.